Today I'm just sitting on my bench on my kitchen. I'm not covered in paint. I'm not in old scabby clothes. I'm going to be doing a little bit of home decor for spring. So I'm just going to take you along and show you what I do. Now before I do this, I do have a couple of little painty jobs. I've got a block of wood here, which I have drilled some holes in because I'm going to stick some twigs and greenery in this block of wood. I'm going to sand it and I'm going to stain it. I have a gin bottle. I'm not saying who drank the contents of the gin. I'm going to spray that black. And the last thing that I'm giving a little bit of a zhuzh up, a little bit of a makeover, is I have this rustic wooden lantern. We have loads of them because Martin used to make and sell them, but he doesn't make so many of them now. So I've got this lantern, it's a decent size, and what I'm going to do with the lantern is I'm going to get rid of this sort of rustic sort of paint finish. I'm going to paint it all one solid colour and I'm going to paint it white. So this lantern is going to be painted white, this block of wood is going to be stained, the block of wood with the little holes in it, and this gin bottle is going to be sprayed black. So once I've done those things, we'll put together some swanky new spring home decor. It's really unusual because I'm normally in my little studio with really bad camera angles, so today it's nice that I feel kind of free. I'm just sitting on my bench, just chilling. So follow along and we'll see how we go. So this is the next space. This space here is the space that I'm going to decorate really simply, just with a spring. It's just as you come in my back door, people can see it when they leave, and it's just a little kind of nod to spring. I've got it elevated on an old box that I made that says Tate and Lyle. I quite like to give things a little bit of height, so that's just to give you a little bit of context of what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with the wooden block that I stained, and I'm going to put it here. Now the little holes that I've drilled, some are drilled bigger than others, and what I want to do is I want to try, I don't know how well they'll fit in, to poke some of these sticks in. I think we're going to have to maybe cut some of the ends of the thinner ones, but the greenery I'm going to put in the thin holes. So I've got little holes here which I'm pushing the greenery into just to make it stand up. Now I must add this is an old hot water bottle peg. They used to put them in your beds and fill them up with hot water. It's got a thing now. I collect these, so I don't really want to do too much to this because you know, I don't want to ruin it, so I'm just going to put it here. It's going to have it's going to have a bit of vinyl on it that I can peel off, kind of like representing a sort of almost like a little birdhouse kind of thing. So I'm going to push these bits of greenery in right into the bits of wood, and I want to try and find long sticks that kind of give it a little bit of movement. So something kind of like this. Now you're going to have to work with this to kind of get it into what you think you like. I really want the curly one, to be honest with you. Here's another one. Break this one off. I'm going to break it off here. Push them right in. I don't like this one. I'm going to remove this one. I think what I'll do is I'll take this piece off the end. And maybe this piece here looks quite interesting. I did some holes bigger than the other. I drilled some big, some small, just so I've got some like kind of interest. And then in the thinner holes, you're just going to put some of this little flocked mini kind of, I use it a lot, I really like it. Now I need something that's going to give it a bit of height. Got something here. So I managed to get those big sticks in there. I had to go and cut a little bit off the edge to be able to do that. So got the twigs, got the greenery. I'm just going to take this and what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to try and do it on camera. I haven't measured any of this, so I hope it works. I'm just going to put some vinyl decal onto here, so this is going to be slightly tricky just because of the way it bends. So I'm just going to do this bit first. So you can just peel it off this way. So I'm just putting the words Hello Spring. Now this isn't going to stay on here, so that's why I'm using vinyl. I'm not going to seal it or anything because I don't want to, as I said, I don't want to damage the ceramic. So my sort of decor is using some antiques, some brand new things, some old things, and the majority of things that I make I just upcycle, I reuse, and I repurpose. And so that's going to go in the middle like there, saying Hello Spring, got our twigs. And just to give it a little bit more of a springy feel, I'm going to put this little rabbit here, and here I've got a little bit of moss. I'm just going to stick a little bit of moss in there. It's actually a tea light holder, but I won't be putting a tea light in it. A little bit of moss, and in here a little spring nest. Just sitting up like that. So that's one really simple thrown together. If you want to stick a little bit more greenery around it, you can. But you know, it's kind of okay the way it is. I can move that rabbit back a bit. I think to top it off, I have this little, I collect little vintage salt and peppers. What I'll probably do is just maybe put a little dab of hot glue on the bottom of this, so I can take it back off, and I think I might just stick that up on top of there just to finish the look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I think I might just put some hyacinths in there as well. I really should paint that pot. That pot's glaringly not good. I'm going to give you a wee close-up of this one, and that took like literally 5 minutes. Now I had to paint the piece of wood and I had to drill some holes in for the sticks and greenery, but it was literally a 5-minute job. So I'll just pause the camera and I'll give everybody a wee close-up. So there's a wee bird on the top. Ignore the light switch, and that's how it looks. My light keeps kind of going back and forward with the way I'm moving the camera. I've got it on an old tile, an old sort of farmhouse sort of tile, and I've staged it on just a box I made, and I just stenciled Tate and Lyle on it to make it look like an old sugar box. So that's it. That's decor, kind of like simple spring decorations. We'll move on to the next one. So I've painted the lantern. It's all done. It's all nice and white. It's got some shabby edges, but that's okay. What I'm going to do now is I got the gin bottle. I sprayed it black. I've got some silhouette words, which I'm just going to stick the word onto it, which is bloom. And we'll put it in situation, and then I'll show you how you arrange it. I'm not going to do the transfer tape and everything on camera. That's a little bit dull. So the words are on, bloom, done that. I'm sorry for the reflection of the light in my glasses. I have to take them off, but then I can't see anything. So I'm just going to stick that in the lantern like that. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it. Put the camera down. My big face, you don't want to be seeing that. Yeah, there we go. So I got some tulips. They're actually quite realistic. They're kind of rubbery. They'd be great for outdoor decor. So what I think these were, they weren't expensive. They were cheap as chips. I got them from Home Bargains. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut them and I'm going to put them in the gin bottle. How easy is that for decor? I'm going to try and arrange them quite nicely so that the tulips are kind of like sticking out of the lantern. I'm trying not to get in the way of the camera. I think what I might have to do is strip some of the leaves off if they're all going to fit in. tags off. The camera angle isn't exactly awesome, is it? I'll do that and I'll zoom out a bit. There we go. I'm just having them coming out all sides. What is this great one? More at the front here. I bought 2 bunches, so I'd initially kind of planned to maybe put them on in a wreath or something on the door because they are rubbery, but I thought this is quite nice if you're looking for some colour and you're not exactly wanting to be like going crazy about it. Well, spray gin bottles, just something you can just upcycle and use again. Pink one coming out here now. Awesome. Yellow one. Some of them have tags on them. So that's 2 decor ideas, some inspiration where I just used things I had or repurposed them, repainted them, or put a silhouette, some words with a silhouette on them. I didn't go any great lengths or any great expense. I really don't think I'm going to have room for this one. I'll try and stick it up the back. So, I'm going to give you a close-up of this now. And it goes with my shelf, that white lantern, so it goes with everything that's sitting over there. So idea number 2, I've got a little third one, just a wee cute thing to put on a shelf. I changed my mind. I didn't like the gin bottle in the lantern, so what I did was, I think it was just too bright in that corner. So what I've done is I've just put the hyacinth bulbs in, a little bit of greenery and a rabbit, just to kind of give a little nod to spring. And I'll show you where I've put the other bloom pot. I put it here. I have a black shelf with lots of different objets and pictures, and one of our birdhouses that we make, it's got to go outside, and some pictures. So what I've done is I've just popped it on there. I have other kind of more, I have lots of things. So and here's another little, this is a dresser that I painted in a French style, so I did furniture as well. So, but if I can just show you this little nod to spring there as well. I've put a little bunny. Turn the camera this way, sorry. So ignore that stuff there, that's got to go in the bin. Yeah. So we'll move on to the third one, which is just a tiny little cute one, easy peasy. In this one, so this one's just a little tiny drawer. It's just a little drawer, and with the little drawer, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to undo the screw for the handle and take it off. I'm simply going to put a bird on top of it. I'm going to put some little bits of greenery inside it, finished off with a little bit of moss, and that's all. That's it. Very, very simple. Now I'm going to stop the camera and put this somewhere so that you can see how it looks in situ. So this is where I decided to put the little bird. So all it was a little drawer filled with a little bit of moss and some flowers, a wee nest, a bird on top, some books beside it just to give it some kind of grounding, some white to break up all the other colours, and that's how that looks on that set of shelves. It's cute. If you look at the top shelf, I have these rabbits out all year round, and that shelf runs right along there with greenery in it. That's a place in Glasgow where I used to stay. And then there's an old meat hook and my mirror. Anyway, I've been Lyle from Made by Marley. If you're interested in anything to do with home decor, crafts, wooden blanks, trying new things when it comes to making stuff, then I'm your woman. I like to upcycle and repurpose what I have. I don't want to keep buying things. I like old things, I like new things. So if you want to know more or have sort of like ideas of what you could do, then please subscribe, or if you think that somebody else would like to make some of the things that I make, then just share it, and I'll do more of these sort of home decorating videos soon.